Our top story now, December 13th, 2001 is etched in the memory of every parliamentarian when 5 terrorists attacked the old Parliament of India. 22 years later, now on the anniversary of the attack, a major security lapse took place. This time inside the new Parliament building. 2 unidentified people jumped inside the chamber of the lower house from the visitors' gallery as the proceedings were underway. They were apprehended and taken into custody. Now, in the morning, Prime Minister Narendra Modi was joined by several top political leaders and ministers of the country at the old Parliament building, paying their tributes to the martyrs on the 22nd anniversary of the attack.
उनके परिवारों से मिलते हुए बेहद भावुक कर देने वाला ये क्षण.
On this day, 5 terrorists belonging to Lashkar-e-Taiba and Jaish-e-Mohammed infiltrated the parliament in a car. The attack on the parliament had led to the deaths of 5 Delhi police personnel, 2 security personnel, 1 CRPF constable and a gardener. They had sacrificed their lives while defending the parliament against the terrorist attack. Now, as the parliament was in progress at around 1 p.m, a breach took place in the lower house of parliament today, triggering confusion among the MPs. 2 intruders jumped from the public gallery number 4 when the 0 hour was in progress. Television footage shows them jumping from desk to desk as they appeared to be headed towards the well of the house. They shouted slogans and opened canisters that emitted a yellow-colored smoke. The intruders have been detained and the house was adjourned briefly. Now, outside the parliament, a man and a woman was also detained for protesting using cans that released coloured smoke. Let's listen in to first-hand account of another member of parliament, Karti Chidambaram.
Suddenly, two people from the visitors' gallery jumped into the house. They had canisters in their hand. These canisters were emitting yellow smoke. One was attempting to run towards the speaker's chair. He was overpowered by members, and I do not know. They were shouting some slogans which I couldn't make about. But the fact that there were 2 people who could come into the visitors' gallery with canisters which could emit smoke. This smoke could have been toxic. It could have been poisonous, or it could have even been smoke bombs. We do not know. But it emitted an yellow smoke. And this is a serious breach of security, especially on 13th of December, the day in which Parliament was attacked in 2001.
To give us more details on this, our correspondent joins us from outside the Parliament now. His name is Siddhant Sibal. Siddhant, if you can hear me clearly, my first question to you is for viewers who have joined us just now. For the sake of them, could you just recap for us the proceedings and what transpired at the Parliament today?
Well, essentially, we know that 2 people were able to breach the security parameter of the parliament, and inside the Lok Sabha, they were able to, of course, throw the canisters with the gas coming out. Now, this is not a very normal event. We know that there are a number of security parameters, and these security parameters are very difficult to breach. So he had a visitor's pass because some MP recommended him, and that is why they were able to enter and shout slogans as well. What was the motivation is not known, but essentially they have been taken into police custody where they have been kept. One of the person was a lady. She is from Haryana, 40 years old around, and the other person is 25 years old person. He is from Maharashtra. But essentially the development coming on a day when India marks the terror attack of Parliament which happened 22 years ago in 2001 is something that is shocking, and there will be, of course, an inquiry as well.
Right. Siddhant, as we heard the MP speak earlier on, the slogans that they were chanting were not really clear. Do we have more information on that? Exactly what they were protesting for?
Well, it's still awaited as to why they were the reason of their sloganeering and what was the motivation. There is no clarity on that. They are in police custody, and this is something that the Lok Sabha Speaker has talked about when the session started at 2 p.m. Indian Standard Time. He mentioned about how essentially there will be an inquiry, and this is a concerning development which has happened, and visuals coming from inside the Parliament. Now, remember, this is the most important institution of the country, and it is very difficult to even breach a security. So how the security breach happened is something that will be inquired, and the reason will be found out very soon.
Do we have any clarity on the roadmap ahead for the detainees from here on? Will there be certain proceedings that will be taken against them? What kind of punishment, if at all, we are anticipating here?
Well, right now there is, of course, no roadmap, but of course the police, of course, is going to inquire why they were able to come inside the Parliament. The reason, of course, why they were shouting as well. How did they breach the security parameter as well will be inquired. How they were able to carry the canister is also something that will be closely inquired upon. So there will be some investigations, there will be questions, but right now there is a sense of shock as to how they were able to breach the security, how they were able to chant slogans, and they were able to physically touch the MPs is also something of a concerning development.
Okay. All right, since we are in the very nascent stages of this particular investigation, and I'm pretty sure you will be getting us updates on this. Thank you so much, Siddhant, for joining us with those details.